Hello guys, si Kesan Veloso ulit ito at welcome sa episode 16 ng larutan ng Shadowrun Hong Kong Extended Edition. So, tuloy natin yung game natin. So, okay. Tapos na tayo dito sa Outsider, uwi na lang tayo sa ano. Babalik lang tayo sa Heyoy. Yan. Tapos na yung ano, nasolve na natin kung sino yung killer. Yung palang bago natin kakampi si Gaichu. Muntik siya magwala doon sa patapos na nung campaign eh. Pero buti na ano, na ano natin siya, napakalma natin siya kahit paano. Kaya lang, weird. Zombie. Ay, kung sa bagay, doon naman sa Dragonfall, meron din mga zombie na ano eh. Meron din grupo ng zombie na matino kausap eh. Okay, so pauwi na lang tayo. So, eto siya, bale. Yung character na to. Si Gaichu. So, uwi na. Teka. Kano yung funds ko? Wala rin pala akong mabibili, 92 lang eh. Bili sana ako ng armor eh, pero wala, 92. Ano mabibili ko niyan? Meron ba akong pwede? Wala eh. Wala na akong pwede i-dispatch ang item eh. Kahit yung mga kasama natin, wala rin silang item na pwede i-benta. Anyway, balik ko tayo sa ano, Heyoy. Uwi na tayo. Magre-report pa tayo nito kay ano eh, kay Kindly Cheng. Balik nga sa Heyoy. Heyoy, the MTR rockets noiselessly toward Heyoy along the edge of Kowloon Bay. The black water glitters in the night with the light of 1,000 reflected storefronts. Gaichu stares sightlessly out the window. One hand presented to the glass, the, the, the plot by the elders is exposed, and Porter Lam is in your debt. You have a new ally, and the respect of the Wampoans. Sometimes everything goes right on a job. You count yourself lucky this was one of those times. Wala tayong nagawang combat kaya maganda-ganda rin. Hindi tayo na force into combat. Check natin yung status natin ngayon. Yun, Karma 8, nice. Upgrade ko na yung mga important skills ko. Charisma, hindi na natin gagawin yan. Body, medyo okay na. Kailangan ko muna yung decking para maging level 4. Tapos, strength, okay na yan, 4. So, may matitira sa aking dalawa. So, unahin ko na muna yung sa decking. points. Will. Level 3. Manifest. Sige, pag-ipunan ko yan. Teka lang. Spellcast. Hindi ko kailangan spellcasting. Ito, willpower. Tapos to. Weakness. Actually, mas kailangan ko yung dodge muna pa lang. Dodge muna. So may 1 point na lang ako. Okay. Test of 4. Kailangan ko lang yung biotech pa. Ito pa. Biotech. Tapos to. Yung Chika, ano na lang. Willpower. Claim payment for your runs in the mission computer. I'll get some rest. Unahin natin yung get some rest. Pero teka, bago tayo pumunta doon, teka. Save muna natin. Gawa tayo ng save. Heyoy. Maximum mo. Mamaya may bibigay tayo sa kanya pero wala pa muna, teka. Sino to? Hey, smugglers. Nandito sa ano natin. Tabi ng ship. Tingnan natin kung kailangan ng mga to. Nakaharang sila sa daan natin eh. Two men in dirty synth leather jackets look up from their conversation at your approach. They both look haggard. Their shoulders slump with exhaustion, and neither appears to have shaved this morning. What do you want, man? We're talking here. I'm new in town. Figured it'd pay to make all the connections I can. Sorry, didn't mean to interrupt. So, sige. A grim chuckle rumbles out of him. You chose the wrong day, stranger. We're moving further downstream, and we're doing it today. There's something wrong with this place. Too many bad dreams. Nananaginip din sila ng ano. I know what you mean. Yeah, that sort of yeah, what sort of bad dreams? I'm sorry I missed you. I'm sorry I missed you, man. Hope you have better luck downstream. Yeah, what sort of bad dreams? The kind that bite. You'll see it too if you stay here long enough. The long hall and the thing in the ivory crown. I've already seen it. He licks his lips, nodding. Lots of people in town dreamed it, or something like it. From the folks I've talked to, there were a bunch of different versions. Some people turned away from the corridor, went down alleys, that kind of thing. I've never even set foot in the walled city before. I've never even set foot in the walled city before, stranger. So tell me, why the hell am I dreaming about it all of a sudden? I don't even know what the damn thing looks like on the inside. Ayun nga, yun din ang tanong natin eh. I think that there's something strange going on. Something magical, and the walled city is where it's coming from. Collective hallucination, maybe? I don't know, stranger things have happened. Why are you asking me? Like I told you, I'm new here. Ito, number 1. He grunts. It's a curse. Nothing else it could be. Everybody knows that place is haunted, a living hell full of evil spirits and poisoned key. If you're not careful, you'll wind up trapped inside with the rest of the human garbage. His companion cuts in. You catch a healthy whiff of alcohol on his breath. That isn't gonna happen to us. No way. Only the lowest of the low wind up in the walled city. So like he said, we're going further downstream. Soon as our things are packed, we're out of here. Damn right. This place is a dump anyway. Let's try our luck in Macau. To hell with this place. Best of luck then. We could say the same to you. You're staying here in Hayo after all. Of the three of us, you're the one who's most likely to need it. Okay, so thank you. Thank you na lang din. So, balik naman na tayo sa ating base. Okay. Optional. Get some rest. Save ko muna. Stash. Wala naman tayo items eh. Okay. Pahinga muna. You wake with a start, your limbs bound up in a sweaty tangle of linen bedsheets. An incredible sorrow swells in your chest. You feel empty, half-starved and alone. Fragmentary memories of a half-remembered dream flit through your mind. They're already fading away to nothing. Chase the memories. Let them fade. Chase the memories. Tignan natin kung ano yun. You close your eyes and concentrate, willing yourself to keep the dream from slipping away. Gradually, the memory comes back to you. The walled city. You are back in the walled city. You don't remember how you got there, but it couldn't have been any place else. Even the barrens weren't so squalid. You remember opening your neck. You remember craning your neck to look above you. The buildings that made up this part of the walled city were new construction, even cheaper than the old. Now their foundation had rotted out from under them, and the buildings leaned into one another like a gang of drunken men. A rain of plaster and asbestos sprinkled down, dusting your shoulders. You began to creep forward, picking your way past the piles of refuse and debris, past past the pimps and the dumpster fires, the broken glass and the dirty needles. The air reeked of rot and sewage and industrial waste, a disgusting melange that caught you in your sinuses and crawled down your throat. You gagged on the stink, but it didn't slow you down. Okay, ang lalim nung napaka-vivid nung dream niya. In the back of your mind, you knew that you had no reason to be doing this. There was nothing for you in the walled city. You shouldn't have been there. But the rest of you was hungry, unbearably, indescribably hungry. And that part of you knew that if you keep moving, you'd finally get to eat. As you force your way deeper into the walled city, locals shoot at their windows and stared inexplicably. Some of them dropped to their knees. You kept moving. You could see something in the distance. A silhouette, something enormous, at least twice the size of a troll, but delicate. It was beautiful. Ano yun? Lalim ah. The huge figure beckoned you, gesturing with slender limb. An explosion of warmth filled your chest, and you knew that if only you could reach it, your problems would be over. She, would make all of your sorrows disappear. You moved forward at a crawl, but the figure felt impossibly far away. You reach out calling to her, and then you wake up. The empty feeling in your stomach slowly fades, taking the strength and vibrance of the memories along with it. Lalim nun na. Okay. Rest ba yun? Ganun? Kausapin natin yung mga ano natin, yung kakampi natin. Ito na naman, ganito naman mangyayari dito sa episode na to, guys. More on talking lang tayo. Wala tayo masyadong magagawa. And-expect ko na yun eh. Kasap na si Duncan. You enter Wu's cabin to find him moving through some sort of stretching routine. His muscles ripple as he flows tranquilly from one pose to the next. You look different, Asalav Anhar. Do I? Better, I hope. I look older, right? Better, I hope. Sort of. It's like I flipped forward a few chapters. It's like I flipped forward a few chapters instead of turning a page. I mean, you look like you, just not the you I knew. Sounds like song lyrics. I get it. Notification pa sa Windows pasaway. Okay. Sounds like song lyrics. I get it. You're you too, just a lot leaner. I have no idea what you're saying right now. I got it. You're you too, just a lot leaner. Wu looks down at his torso, chuckles. Yeah, remember how Lockjaw used to make fun of my gut? He used to call me Dunkin' Donut. He smiles. His teeth are perfect. I guess I got tired of that whole running out of energy waking up stairs thing. Plus, I needed to slim down to get into the academy, and once I got off my ass and started exercising, really exercising, I found out that I loved it. Dali lang, guys. Okay. It's the focus. I guess I don't have to think about anything. I don't have to talk to anyone. All I have to do is concentrate on my form and count my reps. And no matter what happens after that, I've started my day by accomplishing something. So, what about you? He gives you a once-over. How are you doing? Good, actually. This is the life I've always wanted. Kinda pissed at Raymond for getting us into this whole thing. I'm a little freaked out. I don't know this city at all. I feel like an alien here. Not too good thinking about Raymond. About how you'd expect. Been better. Same as always. Ito na muna. Don't misplace your anger. This isn't Raymond's fault. Whoever took him. He makes eye contact with you, acknowledges that an alternative is possible, or killed him. They're the ones to blame, and I'm gonna find out who they are, and they're the ones who are gonna pay. Maybe, but Ray's the one who got us into this. And they're the ones who are gonna pay. Ito na lang. Para kailangan kasama natin siya sa ano natin. Kailangan lagi natin sinasama si Duncan sa decisions. Damn right, he picks up an ammo box and begins using it like a dumbbell. You seem like a natural at leading this crew, Asalav Anhar, but I still don't completely understand. What do you get out of being a Shadowrunner? Freedom. I'm not a cog in the corporate machine. Ito medyo malalim pero interesting. It's the money. There's no way I could ever earn this much in a straight job. It's the thrill. Running keeps me firmly in the moment. I feel alive. I get to hurt people for money. It's about seeing the world how it really is, underneath the veneer. I don't know. I can't put my finger on it. Ito na lang. Medyo malalim pero maganda to. Sure you're not. He chuckles to himself. Come on, Aslevenhar. Think. Of course, you're a cog. Everyone's a cog. Whether you're working for them, consuming their crap, getting brainwashed by news media that they control, voting for the people that they put in front of you, or being policed by people that they own. You're a cog. And you're the lowest kind of cog. So, suko ka na sa buhay, ganon. A Shadowrunner, a disposable asset, chinless, slithering through the cracks of society, doing jobs that are too dirty for the corpse to do themselves. You don't even appear on a corporate balance sheet. You make it sound so unglamorous. I call my own shots, take the jobs I want. Runners can be more than that. They can move their own agenda. Fight the power. Oh, actually, nangyari yun doon sa sa Dragonfall. Uh, I've never heard a story where a Shadowrunner did something other than kill someone, steal something, or perpetrate some other sort of shady shit. Ayun nga, wala ka doon sa events ng Returns tsaka Dragonfall kaya hindi mo alam yan. But good luck with that. Who watches you, waiting for you to say something? You thinking about getting chromed up? I want to talk about you and me. What do you think about the last run? I don't know, Aslevanhar. I've had enough of ghouls for one lifetime. The barons were full of them. Remember what the 162s did to that Astlaner family that lived by the old town center? Remember how we found them? Ayan, sa barons yan, sa returns. It's not the kind of thing you forget. Tooth marks and the bones and all that. Sure, but in all fairness, they were asking for it. They were keeping second-hand organs in a walk-in freezer. I mean, what did they expect? I put it behind me. You should do the same. Tama. Ito na, either 1 or 3. Ito na lang, sige 3. Can't. I've been having nightmares about it since I was a kid. Still makes my skin crawl. He grimaces. I don't know, Aslevanhar. I don't think I'll ever get comfortable with having a ghoul on our crew. Made sense to keep those elders alive, by the way. Good call. We don't know anyone in this country. Seems wise to try and get some allies. Anyway, enough about that. Need anything else? You think about getting chromed up? I want to talk about you. Ito muna, sige. I want to talk about you and me. He rests his eyes on you a moment, his face neutral. Yeah, I guess now's as good a time as any. You start. You're not acting like the Duncan who I grew up with. What made you decide to become a cop? Seems like Carter's death hit you pretty hard. Ito muna. Mamaya kay Carter. I needed structure bad. You know that better than anyone. I was already hardcore when we met. Mr. Ultraviolence. I'd do anything to get a rise out of the guys I was rolling with. Gouging eyes, inverting knees, curb stomping. That shit got me cheers. I was like a pit fighter, bloodletting for the crowd, and I learned to enjoy it. But I never learned how to block out the memories of their screams when I was lying in bed at night. The guilt started eating me alive. And then I was scared to be alone with my thoughts. So I tried to drown them out with all the things that you drown things out with. I remember that you were pretty messed up when we met. How bad was it? You never told me that before. You seemed to have it under control when we were together. Ito na lang. It's funny how people remember things. Yeah, when we squatted together, and later, when we were living with Ray, I was still a violent son of a bitch, but basically under control. But that was you, Tank. You were the voice of reason. the brains. Okay. That sounds about right. Meet the brains? I don't remember it in that way. I don't remember it that way. Meet the brains? Nakatala lang muna. Iyan na natin siya. Don't pretend you weren't the leader. You know how it was. When we ran the streets together, I was the muscle and you called the shots. You pointed and I hit. But later, after Ray got me some counseling, I realized I let you call the shots so that I wouldn't have to. Because I knew that what I wanted was wrong. By following your lead, I was deflecting my own guilt onto you. I could just knock heads and walk away clean. You know, you know. Don't look at me. I'm just doing what I'm told. Dali lang, guys. And then you left. Without you there, I knew that I was in serious trouble. The poster boy for anger management issues. Raymond could provide a stable environment, a decent therapist, and money for prescriptions. But you know Raymond, he's an egghead, engineer with a philanthropic streak, not a drill sergeant. And a drill sergeant was what I needed. I needed structure and discipline in a way that he couldn't offer me. I needed a cage to keep myself in line. So I found myself a cage made of rules and procedures and training. Lone Star. Raymond helped me with my application and provided a decent character reference. I got in and it helped a lot. Lone Star got me where I needed to be. And now it's all gone and you're back. Ganun eh, no? Seems like characters that hit you pretty hard. O, sige, tuloy na natin itong. We'll continue stretching. Yeah, she was a good one. We were a real team. Joining Lone Star helped me in a lot of in all sorts of important ways. No doubt about it. I really embraced being a cop. I studied my ass off. But no matter how hard I worked, I was never more than a model cop with a brutal streak. There were plenty of assignments that were perfect for a big mean orc like me. Assignments that would have fed my need to hurt people. But I met Carter about a year in, and she changed things. She talked about values and goals and priorities and constructing the life that you want to live. She was a real trip. Sounds like a good woman. Yeah, not my thing. She sounds wise. Ito na lang. She sounds wise na lang. He pauses his stretching for a moment. Huh? Never thought about that word as a way of describing her. Wise. From an outside perspective, I guess you'd say that. You'd say that. But to me, she was just grounded. She knew who she was, where she was going, and what got her there. Carter understood how the world worked, but compartmentalized it so she could focus on making a life for herself that made sense. She kept me focused. Bagay nga kayo. When Raymond asked me to meet him in Hong Kong, I had the feeling I was gonna wind up, wind up going off the reservation if I didn't bring Carter along. And now she's gone, and here I am. You only took a step off the reservation. You can choose to step back too. It might be time to stop looking for someone to hold your leash, Duncan. We can handle it like we used to. I'll be the brains and you be the muscle. I say that you honor I say that you honor her memory by showing her how much you've learned. It might be time to stop looking for someone to hold your leash, Duncan. Ano lang. Man, I wish you'd put that a different way, as Lebanon. But I get what you're saying. I don't want to be anyone's attack dog anymore. Wu folds his arms across his chest and nods to himself, satisfied. You've been waiting a long time to ask me about the night I left, haven't you? Let's talk about something else. Okay. Tuloy-tuloy na. Pwede na yan. Ano na medyo komportable na Who chuckles and and hooks his thumbs in his belt. I guess I have. Yeah. It's about what you were doing before you got thrown into that corp facility. You said some people messed you have messed with you, and you weren't going to let them get away with it. How'd it go? Let's just say they didn't get away with it and leave it at that. Let's just say that I got messed with a little harder and call it good. With a little harder and call it. Ito na lang. Hindi ko na lang. Whatever you say, SFNR. You're thinking about getting chromed up? Tuloy na natin to. Sige. You thinking about getting chromed up? With Cyber? He shakes his head. Oh my god, how many times are you gonna ask me that? Until you give me a satisfying answer. Oh, at least a couple dozen more times. You always have the best reactions. I'm gonna keep asking until you show me some chrome. Until you give me a satisfying answer. Ito na lang. Wu grins. His teeth are blindingly white. I told you one time, I was thinking about it when I was 13. Let it go. I'm not gonna pollute my body with that shit. You? Hindi rin. Ayoko rin yun Adept. Get type adept. Ooh, look at me. I've got the magic in my hand. Of course, I won't get cybered. You never know. No, not for me either. I'm saving up for something. Ito na. Yeah, I guess you've got a point there. That's a good thing, by the way. Better to keep yourself whole and in touch with the world around you. I may not have magic, but I know that's true. Do you ever think about when we were kids? Okay, tuloy natin. He begins moving through some sort of pattern. Might be Tai Chi. I try not to. What are you talking about exactly? The squat in the barrens. Only Rive. The time before we moved in with Raymond and Mrs. Maloney. The old gang, Lockjaw, Double Tray. Those guys. Sige, ito muna. You realize that old gang you're talking about were teenagers, right? Younger than Gabat. Man, they felt so old back then. But Lockjaw couldn't have been more than 17, tops. And Double Tray was only 13 when Who Stops Moving drifts off for a moment. Why were you thinking of them? I miss the clarity of that life. Scrunch for food, defend your squat, watch each other's backs. Just thinking about that thing DT used to say. I don't know, guess I was thinking about anywhere but Hong Kong. Wu returns to his patterns. He manipulates an imaginary soap bubble between his hands. Clarity, huh? We were living between the red hot nukes and the 162s. Crazy as dwarf anarchists on one side and flesh-eating ghouls on the other. Those are the days that you long for? Long for? No. I was just thinking that it's the same now as it was back then. Our priorities were simple. It was you and me, Duncan. Those two guys were important, but it was always about you and me. Ito. His raspy baritone fills the space between you, bridges it. Survive and watch each other's backs. Yeah, I know. Let's talk later. Okay, at least okay yung naging result. Yeah, later would be good. Don't get me wrong. Catching up is nice, but I'm not used to being as social as this. That's one of the reasons why it was so nice to work for Under Carter. We both appreciated long silences. Okay. Sorry man. She seemed like good people. Hey, if you'd rather I didn't come by anymore. I'll clear out then. Give you your personal space. Ano? Thanks. I'll bask in it. Oh, and Good talk, Asalav Anhar. I'll catch up with you later. Okay, so at least hindi siya na bad trip sa atin. Okay, save muna natin. Tapos yung dalawa naman sa taas. Okay, 10 minutes na lang. Pasensya guys kung medyo boring kasi talagang ganito yung game na to eh. More on dialogue eh. Kasi may rewards pagka kinakausap mo yung mga lahat ng tao sa paligid. And na-discover ko yun doon sa Dragonfall eh. Kung hindi ganito yun, hindi ko gagawin to eh. Tank, you're back. She doesn't bother turning. Need something? Have you been having weird dreams recently? What about your portable gear, your cybertech, software, that kind of thing? I'd like to get to know you better. Tell me something about yourself. You don't like talking about things other than your computer very much, do you? Any thoughts about that last run? Ito. Kaya kasama natin siya dun eh. I thought I wouldn't miss the Wampoans. And you know what? I don't. They're all a bunch of pompous, cliquish tech junkies who act like they're in high school. All backstabbing and whispered gossip. The elders are the worst of them, always pitting their cronies against each other. They're useful allies, but I don't ever want to deal with them directly again. May point siya dun. Masyado kang manipulative yung elders. They had high school inside the walled city. How the hell would you know what high school is like? Ito na lang muna. Ito. Well, I didn't exactly go to high school, or any school for that matter, but I've watched a lot of Pride, and I hang out on the Matrix all day. I think I have a pretty good idea of what teenagers are like. Teenager ka rin na. I can't believe Ning and the other elders would be stupid enough to try and shirk payment on a Shadowrunner, a good Shadowrunner, who's dressed like a red samurai. You pulled some real smooth stuff with Lamb though, convincing him that their plot was in everybody's best interests. We keep them as allies. We get a nasty new team member, and hopefully the Wampoans pick some new elders with better common senses. Anything else you want to know? Have you been having weird dreams recently? Her body goes still. Yes, I think that everybody has. Me too. I've been having horrible nightmares. I was just curious, not trying to make a big deal over it. You wanna tell me what your dream was about? Not particularly. I don't remember much anyway. I've gotten good at forgetting things related to that place. Slowly she begins rummaging through the guts of the obsolete cyber deck again. I'm not interested in talking about my dreams, Tank. I just want to work on my computer in peace. Okay? What about your portable gear, your cyber deck, software, that kind of thing? It gets the job done. Might not be top of the line, but I'm comfortable using it in the field. If you should happen to come across any more advanced hardware or software, either on the job or on the discount track at Lowe's Techno Palace, I'm not about taking donations, but barring that, I'm fine with using what I've got. Your call. I'd like to get to know you better. Ito naman na, sige. You don't like talking about things other than your computers very much, do you? Malamang magalit to. There is a long pause before she responds. When she does, she sounds vaguely hurt. I prefer not to. Nothing personal. It's just the way that I am. Okay? There's nothing wrong with that. I just want to know who I'm running with, don't you? You should learn to speak up. The whole strong and silent thing doesn't work for you. If you say so, okay. Ito na lang. Yes, you're still a mystery to me. There is a long pause. I don't like mysteries, but I do enjoy solving them. Okay. She turns, gives you her full attention. So here's what we're going to do. I'm gonna ask you a question, something personal. After you've given me an answer, you get to ask me something. Okay. Think of it like a game of questions. We take turns with one of us until one of us wants to quit. Deal? I don't think so. I don't play games. Deal, you go first. Ask away. She studies your face. We'll start off easy. Tell me what you really think about Duncan. I love and respect the man, his family. He can be a pain in the ass, but he's like a brother to me. We're old friends who drifted apart, that's all. He was a means to an end back in the Barrens. Now he's just irritating. I don't have any feelings about him one way or the other. He can be a pain in the ass, but he's like a brother to me. Interesting. Her eyes fills the doorway of Gabbett's cabin. The corner of her mouth tilts upwards into a slight smile, and a little familiar. Well, you've answered my question. I guess that makes it your turn. How long have you been running with the shadows? How long have you been running the shadows with Gabbett? How did you and Gabbett meet? Where did you learn to deck? You grew up in the walled city, right? Tell me about that. Medyo personal to, wag na muna yan. I don't know. Where did you learn to deck? Ano lang muna. Di Wampoa. I lived there for a while after escaping the walled city. The people there were difficult. We didn't get along, but it was a great place to learn. Guys. And that would make it my turn. She pauses, considering. So tell me, what was your connection to Raymond Black? He was like a father to me. Me and Duncan, he got us out of the Barrens. He was a rich old man who wanted to buy the gratitude of some street kids. I accepted. He was my benefactor and mentor. I respected him. Si Duncan natutuwa kay kay Raymond eh. So itong character natin, hindi ko masabi kung natutuwa siya o hindi eh. Ito na lang. Hindi ako sigurado eh. In that case, my condolences. It's always difficult to lose someone who you respect. Your turn. Ask me a question and I'll give you an answer. Wag na muna tong medyo malalim to eh. How did you and Gabbett meet? Her brow furrows and after a moment, she screws her eyes shut. We met as kids in the world city. My prison was her playground. Para talaga para rin talagang yung si Duncan tsaka yung main character natin. Mas malala nga lang yung situation. Did I touch a nerve? You okay, Isabel? I'm sorry if that was uncomfortable for you. No, it isn't that. I'll be fine. She shifts her gaze to the octopus. I just have a hard time remembering those days. My childhood is kind of a blur. And that brings us back to my turn. She gestures at the cabin walls around you. You enjoy it, don't you? Living like this, working the shadows. Yeah, Raymond Black was wrong. This is what I was born to do. No, I left this shit behind when Raymond pulled me out of the Barrens. I want my old life back. Parang si Duncan magsasabi niyan. This is survival. I do what I have to. Enjoyment doesn't come into it. Lang. She blinks. We may have more in common than I thought. Your turn again. Go ahead. Ask me something. You grew up in the walled city, right? Tell me about that. How long have you been running the shadows with Gabbett? Muna. Medyo personal to eh. Ihuli ko yan. That's a good question. I guess about 4 years now. A decent stretch by anyone's reckoning. Oh, matagal-tagal na rin pala kayong nagra-run together eh. Ayos yun. My turn again. Her head tilts as she studies your face. And I think my last question for you. You're stuck here marooned. You and Duncan both. He's obviously unhappy with the situation. He keeps going on about the things that he left behind. But what about you? Is there anything that you want to get back to? Nothing worth mentioning. Truth be told, I'm enjoying the change of scenery. Yeah, I left something important behind. My entire life. My friends, my career. Timer na. Tapusin na lang natin tong dialogue natin dito kay Isabel. My friends, my career, everything. I had work caring about. Nonsense to. Nonsense yung line na yan. Nothing worth mentioning. Truth be told, I'm enjoying this change of scenery. Ano lang muna. Nothing? There isn't anything about your old life that you'll miss? I don't know whether to envy you or feel sorry for you. Pasaway. She glances down at the clock on her desk. An antique model with physical hands that looked like it was wrenched out of a submarine. A frown spreads across her face. Shit, it's even later than I thought, and I've still got a long way to go before the octopus is fixed. She begins to turn away, her attention fixed on the stack of partially disassembled cybertechs arrayed in front of her. Hang on, Isabel. You still owe me another question. Aren't you forgetting something? Ito na lang. Pag ito, medyo baka mabwisit siya sa atin eh. She stops in place, fidgets. If you've got another question, go ahead and ask, but be quick about it. Okay. Ito na, hindi na siya question. I need you to tell me what you can about the world city. Ito na lang. Buti hindi na question. Her voice goes cold. Why? Because Raymond Black wanted to go in there, and somebody destroyed my life to keep him from doing that. Why do you think? The hellhole is getting into our heads, influencing our dreams. Because I visited the place, but I know that there's more going on there than I've seen. Tama. Number 3. Her cheeks flush, just like they did the last time. She averts her eyes. No, I'm sorry, but no. Later maybe, but not now. Okay lang. You owe me an answer, Isabel. That's how this game works. Alright, Isabel, maybe next time. Isabel, please, this is important. Ano na lang. Baka mamaya magalit na sa atin to eh. Blinking, she turns away and buries herself in the octopus's splayed innards. Please excuse me, I have work to do. Medyo bad trip na nga siya nun. Eh pag tinuloy natin, baka magalit sa atin eh. So, anyway, time na guys. So, save na natin muna dito. Tuloy natin next episode. Meron pa tayong ilang kakausapin eh. Si Gabet pa. Tapos yung dalawa sa baba. Tapos si babalik tayo kay Kindly Cheng. Okay. Back to main menu. Quit. Okay guys, kaya Sean Velosa signing off. Next episode na lang ulit.